Greetings, everyone. This is Governor Herrera. I hope you and your families are well. As we move into the midweek of September, I want to remind the community that we are still in the COVID-19 pandemic. The Pueblo of Laguna Emergency Operations Center, EOC, and my office continue to monitor the situation as we continue to conduct community-wide COVID-19 testing and contact tracing. It's important to note that the POL EOC uses the latest CDC guidelines as a base and has implemented other necessary strategies specific to the Pueblo. The POL COVID-19 policies and guidelines were built to work for and with our unique community structure here at the Pueblo. This means that what happens at the state level does not pertain to the Pueblo, and we will do what is necessary to protect our community and our most vulnerable population, our elders. Currently, the state of New Mexico positive COVID-19 cases are averaging 100 cases per day, with 20 to 29-year-olds having the highest positive case count, and American Indian, Alaska Natives having the second highest positive cases at 30.94%, and still leading with the highest death rate of any other race. Also, as we move into the cold and flu season with COVID-19 among us, we must move cautiously and continue all COVID-19 safety precautions until there is a vaccine. Until then, I ask you to continue to respect the guidance of our EOC and adhere to the precautions set forth. Protecting our community is everyone's responsibility. Now, if you find yourself being contacted by a contact tracer for a possible exposure to COVID-19, please be truthful and honest with them. Remember, they are the first line of defense to stopping the virus, and your cooperation helps them in their work to keep us all safe. They may also put you and your family in quarantine. So what is quarantine? This means that they're trying to keep people who might have been exposed to the virus away from others. Quarantine helps prevent spread of disease that can occur before a person knows they are sick, or if they are infected with the virus without feeling symptoms. People in quarantine need to stay home to avoid potentially spreading the virus to others in the community. Separate yourself from others, monitor your health, and follow directions from your contact tracer. Please understand that each case is different, so guidance will be different for each household as well. Thank you to our contact tracers for the important work you are doing to keep us all safe. Next, here is First Lieutenant Governor Norbert Wakando with the Laguna Feast update.
I am the First Lieutenant Governor for the Pueblo of Laguna, the staff officer for the Village of Laguna. The Village of Laguna officials have made the determination that due to the COVID-19 pandemic, there will be no feast day activities taking place on Saturday, September 19th for the Laguna Feast. However, if a household wants to serve food, this would be allowed, provided that they follow all the COVID-19 safety precautions set by the EOC. As for individuals who want to sell food from their homes, this will also be permitted. Again, they must adhere to the COVID-19 safety protocols. If they must also have an up-to-date food handler's permit. Only those living in the home will be permitted to sell. No relatives that reside outside the jurisdiction, village jurisdiction will be allowed to sell. As for the area north of the post office, no vendors will be allowed to sell in this area. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, First Lieutenant Governor, for that update. Next, as many of you are aware, Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham's recent updates to the New Mexico health order is now allowing New Mexico schools to hold practices and competitions for volleyball, cross-country, and golf. I continue to be in contact with Grant Cibola County Schools and LDOE on this new update. I still hold firm on no practice or games within the Pueblo boundaries. I am pleased to hear that Grant Superintendent Perez is aware of the New Mexico health order updates and has stated that Grant Cibola County Schools will adhere and comply to each individual tribal governor's executive order. If you are a student athlete or a coach, please continue to have patience and get creative in your workouts at home and outdoors. Next, there has been an update on LDOE school meals. Currently, LDOE is now providing breakfast and lunch to all students ages 18 years and under, and students do not need to be registered with LDOE. Parents and youth, please take advantage of these meals provided to your community by LDOE and Grant Cibola County Schools. Information on school meals can be found on the POL website. Moving on, here is Lorraine Silva, Tribal Enrollment Manager, with the 2020 Census Update.
Greetings, my name is Lorraine Silva, and I'm the Tribal Enrollment Manager and the Census Liaison for the Pueblo of Laguna. As some of you know, census operations and enumeration will end on September 30th, 2020. With the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, the U.S. Census Bureau had previously planned to extend operations and the enumeration period for self-response and non-response follow-up to October 31st. But recently, they announced that field data collection for the 2020 census would end on September 30th. For hard-to-count communities in New Mexico and Indian Country, the extension would have ensured a fair and more accurate count. But unfortunately, we may have an undercount of these communities. So it's very important that those who haven't responded to the census yet do so now. There is still time to complete your form online or by mailing it in. Enumerators have also been out within the community, going from household to household, assisting individuals with completing the form. Laguna still has not reached our response rate of 53.6%, according to the latest New Mexico tribal response data. We are at a cumulative response rate of 32.9%. Overall, out of the 19 pueblos, Laguna continues to rank 17th in the census response. Remember, census data is essential for policymaking and is used to determine funding for roads, housing, education, healthcare, elder programs, child care programs, and economic development. Census data is also used to apportion voting boundaries for congressional, state, and local legislative districts and affects the allocation of congressional seats. The impact of these programs, facilities, representation, and redistricting can make a difference for our next generation and those to come. We all need to encourage our families, friends, and neighbors to spread the word and participate in the 2020 census. The census is our chance to be counted, to be heard, and for our tribal nations to be recognized. Being counted means standing up for yourself, your family, and your tribal community. The future of our communities depends on each one of us completing the census form. This is our opportunity to make a difference. If you have not received a form or an enumerator has not visited your home, you can go online at 2020census.gov or call 844-330-2020 to respond. We will also be scheduling another outreach event before September 30th where we can assist you with completing your form, or if you'd like to drop off your completed form, we will mail it for you. So keep a lookout for information regarding this event. Time is running out, so we need to participate now. We are at 15 days and counting. Let's all make a difference and get those census forms done. Stand up and be counted, Goek, because our community, our count. Thank you.
Thank you, Lorraine, for that update on the census. Next, many community members will be harvesting wood for fireplaces. ENRD has a supply of cut wood, cut stacked at the rodeo grounds, which is north of the new elementary school. This is available for the elderly. The Pueblo will be considering lifting the stage 2 fire restriction at the end of this week, which will allow for wood cutting. Once the fire restriction considerations are discussed, wood cutting opportunities will be made available on Pueblo lands. If you have questions, please contact ENRD for assistance at 552-7512. Now for the POL COVID-19 update. The Pueblo stands at 45 total positive cases, 43 recovered, 1 deceased, and 1 active case within the Pueblo boundaries. I would like to say thank you to the community for keeping Laguna safe and for adhering to the COVID-19 safety precautions. Do not let your guard down. As we near the fall season, we all need to be mindful of the cold and flu season as well during the COVID-19 pandemic. The Health Education Program has put together some great information on the difference between flu and COVID-19 virus. Please go to the Pueblo of Laguna website for this document, and remember, if you are feeling ill and are unsure what to do, please stay home and contact your primary care doctor or the POL public health nurse at 552-5748 or ACL Hospital at 552-5300. These again are trained medical personnel who can assist in directing you to your next level of care. In closing, please continue the efforts as always to keep our families and communities safe by following all the COVID-19 safety precautions. Please do not gather in groups larger than 5, socialize at a distance, wash your hands, wear a face mask if you must go out in public, don't touch your face with unwashed hands, and stay at home to the greatest extent possible, keeping in mind that every time you leave your home, it's a risk. I wish you all well and be safe. Thank you for this opportunity.